That element of like, how do I one-up myself is natural and necessary. Because to me, it's like, if I'm not trying to one-up myself and if I'm not a little bit kind of like worried, then there's gonna be no fuel to drive the discovery of the next. So I think I'm always kind of like, I gotta one-up myself. That's what keeps me going, because if I thought everything I did was actually just, that's it, I can't top that, I would stop.
It's easy to kind of get lost in the game and in the climb of it. So, you know, you kind of recognize new levels and you got to be present and be grateful for those new levels. But at the same time, I just love the climb. I just love playing the game of it, you know? So I still feel fresh and new, and, you know, like I feel like I'm reaching a new level now where I'm like, ooh, this is exciting, this is new. So like, this feels like chapter 1 of a new thing, you know, so.
Just literally like staying in the studio, getting better, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go from taking 100 jump shots a day to 200, your jump shot is gonna get better inevitably, so just stay practicing. What you see is what you get. There was no fake industry bullshit going on behind the scenes where it's like, damn, like, how'd you just get popping like that? Like, you must have had, nah. I was sitting in the basement with no industry people on my phone, dropping a song a week from the basement and going to sleep and waking up and hoping it had a million plays. And it didn't, and then finally it started getting a million plays after about fucking 50 weeks in a row. It was literally just consistency. Because I was never that attached to the results. I was more attached to the idea of making songs. I fell in love with the games, not the points. I think I say that in the booklet. It's like, success to me is bouncing from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. I just like, at the end of the day, there's a clear vision in my head that I'm not gonna stop until I get it. And I just wanna go down as the best. You know what I'm saying? I just wanna go down as #1. I'm not gonna stop until I get there. And if I don't get there, I'm gonna die trying, so.
Like the great Reverend 50 Cent once said.
Absolutely. That's another problem with society, right? Society wants to hold the key to your confidence in their pocket. They want to say, oh, you know what? I know you feel like you should feel good about yourself and you should feel like you're a king and you're confident, but relax, we'll let you know when. And then once you do like a certain like esoteric amount of accomplishments, that's when society will be like, you can feel good about yourself now, you can talk that shit now. Fuck that and fuck y'all. I'm gonna talk my shit till I motherfucking die. I'm not waiting for y'all to tell me, give me the green light on my own confidence. How you gonna green light my confidence?
I have to do this because I have to achieve that feeling for myself, and I know I can do this. You know what I'm saying? But I think I made a decision a long time ago that you can either go through life and go through this whole journey kind of being like, oh, well, like, I'm not that good. Or you can simply choose to be like, I'm fucking amazing. And a part of it is like, you need to hype yourself up. In order to even get to this point where we're sitting here, whatever, there had to be a certain level of mental, like, I have to psych myself up and turn myself into a self-belief monster.
Getting discouraged is like, just, it comes with the dinner. Like I said, I just try not to live there for too long, and I try to flip it into fuel and inspiration, you know? So it's like if and a lot of times discouragement usually comes from me at least, from my experience, it's like ego is involved. And attachment to results is involved. I think the way to feel the power of money is when you give it away. Because it's easy to get jaded to anything, but when you give it away, you recognize the power of it. I feel like that's probably true for any blessing, you know? An old t-shirt that you're like, whatever about, you go give it to a kid who has no t-shirt and be like, you know, it's like,
huge deal,
it's perspective, so.
I just always thought I was the best at everything. Like even shit that I had like no business doing. Like even if I was just like playing soccer for the first time, I'd be talking shit to all the soccer kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I always just had that unremovable stain of self-confidence. So I don't know, even when it was sounding terrible, like I thought that shit was the best sounding shit ever. It was terrible. I think your instincts take over. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be surprised what you're actually able to do once you're like forced to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like once you're thrown in the fire, you'd be surprised what what instincts and adrenaline can do.
You know, you should start rapping, and I was just like, yeah, but like I sound whack though. Like my voice sounds whack. So there was a moment of self-doubt and fear. Yeah, it is really, really important that you surround yourself with people who are trying to big you up too.
Let me make sure that my values are good values, which are values that I can control, right? And I was like, okay, I value my creative freedom. right? I value being able to put out a song whenever I want, make whatever I want, etc., right? So Bankrupt, any song I put out is a success by the metric of my value system. My value system is, did I make what I want, and did I put it out when I want, and did I put it out how I want? If I did those three things, it's a successful song. Now, if we're going by the metric of the music business, maybe it's not successful, but that's how you get depressed and f***ed up as an artist.
Me wanting to prove it to myself, number one, that I am good enough, and then naturally prove it to other people. But number one, prove it to myself that, you know what, like, I wanted to go platinum and I wanted to do these things, not to prove to the world, but like to prove to the little kid who started writing raps at 7, to prove to the kid who was making terrible ass beats at 14.
If I look at my life,
yeah,
and it's not a sad story, but at the same time,
yeah,
you know, I look at my father who said, you're not gonna do this.
When you really like tune into that ideology that, yo, my thoughts do turn into something. If I believe in it and I put the right energy behind it, you can really make what you want to have happen. You know, exactly like you said, law of attraction. We got what we wanted out of life.
Man,
Yeah.
what makes Russ strikingly different?
I'm just me. So, off rip, 101.
You're not trying to be somebody
That's
else.
the thing. It's like, that's what I always tell people. When you actually live your truth and when you contribute yourself to the world, you don't have to try to be different. You are different by nature, you know? So, yeah.
The reason why people give up is they don't know where that surface is. You don't know when it's gonna happen. You just have to have faith that it is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? People just give up and sometimes they're like right there. So my whole shit was like, at some point, I knew the universe was gonna have to spread the legs and let me fuck, period. So I was going, and then at some point it just pierced through, and then it was, you know, it was over after that. You have to only listen to your gut and listen to your passion and follow your passion. And people say, oh, I don't know what my passion is. Whatever that thing is that fills you with the most enthusiasm when you think about it, that's your passion. And everyone, when I said that, probably thought of something right then and there, but you probably maybe dismissed it because it was unrealistic, it doesn't make enough money, there's not enough jobs in the market, whatever the fuck it is. But you have to follow that, or you're gonna be fucking miserable and you're gonna settle. So my message is just believe in yourself and trust your gut and follow your passion.
Something that I've been trying to work on a lot is being more patient with myself. I realized that I was a very impatient person. I wanted everything to happen by tomorrow or else, you know, and the or else was, well, I'm gonna be anxious, I'm gonna be irritable, I'm gonna be like trying to, you know, just constantly on my phone trying to like move the needle, you know what I mean? Like move the chess piece across the board, you know? So it's like, and you drive yourself crazy, and it really comes from a fear-based place, because it's like, well, if you truly had faith in your journey, in the universe, and in things unfolding when they're supposed to, you would have a little bit more of a like laissez-faire like approach, like hands off, like, you know, let go. So I think a lot of people are just zoomed in and like just, you know, hyper vigilant with like their control, and I think it makes you go a little cuckoo. So I would say be more patient.